Correct. An active infestation needs an active treatment. If it's not an active infestation, do not actively treat something that's not there. Hello, everybody. We are back on the Lawnspiracy. I'm here with Shane, with Eric Putnam, BCMA, and I'm AJ, owner of Hippie Fertilizing. Let's talk about some grass and trees, man.
It's good to see y'all again. Thank y'all for coming back. I think we're talking a little bit about pests today, huh?
Yeah. Is it really?
What is a pest?
Is it really bugging you?
I think it's bugging me just a little bit.
Yeah. I tell you what. You know what's bugging me? How much people think things are bugging them that really are not.
Really aren't a problem. Yeah.
Right now we're in summer. I just got a call from another lawn care owner, and I will say I'm thankful he reached out.
Sure.
Because he said, AJ, I think one of my customers has a fungus problem, and I really don't know how to treat that. Will you go over and take a look at it? Okay. Luckily I did. Thankfully, he knew it was not his area of expertise. Guess what I found? It wasn't a fungus.
What was it?
Chinch bugs.
Really?
Yes.
Really? And do those look similar, or is that just an untrained eye kind of thing? Or
I would say it's an untrained eye kind of thing, because once you see fungus issues, brown patch, those sort of things, to me, they're very different.
Sure.
Versus brown patches that are caused by insect problems. Because you have chinch bugs, grub worms, one that's very hard to identify. Of course, the name eludes me. Grass mites.
Grass mites?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Like, no joke. Have you even heard of grass mites?
I've never heard of them, no.
No? Okay.
We have mites in trees, too. We have spider mites.
Yeah. You have mites in grass. You have probably mites in everything.
Yeah.
Right?
You have mites in your eyebrows. Did you know that?
Oh, that sounds so nasty. That might really be bugging me, y'all. So, yeah, grass mites, they're freaking tiny. And each one of these things with a trained eye does have a certain look. When you have chinch bugs, the grass, yes, it can turn yellow and brown, it will, but it looks more like dead hay. Okay. Versus the most typical fungus issue around here, brown patch. It is literally a brown patch, has a circle, and usually on the very edge of the circle, it looks a little rusty colored.
Interesting. Okay.
Very different kind of yellow, rusty edge for brown patch. Hay looking dead grass for chinch bugs. So I hear all the time about pests and diseases and people wanting to get ahead of it.
Of course, yeah.
Right? I mean, if we could just take some magic pills, a drink, or whatever, and get ahead of a cold, a flu, this or that.
Get ahead of cancer.
Yes, that would be really magical. Right? But can we do that?
Realistically, for the most part, no. I mean, we can take vitamins ourselves to improve our immune system. We can have a healthier lifestyle, but that's really about it.
Right, and do those things.
But if you're taking antibiotics every day just so you don't get that weird, bacterial whatever, that's going to nuke your body.
Right, exactly. And you hit the nail on the head. Okay?
I used to be a carpenter.
Good. People do this all the time every year, and a part of these schedules that are told and sold online is, put down X, Y, and Z to treat for everything. And just like you mentioned with an antibiotic, if you take antibiotics all the time, when you do get it, it's going to be resistant to it.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to kill off a lot of good bacteria and things that are working in your favor that are going to help you naturally fight most things that your body would be able to kick butt on. Right? Well, the very same way that works with our bodies, it works in soil and with plants. Okay?
It's really fascinating. So kind of everything has an immune system.
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, I know you know this.
Well, I got to egg it on just a little bit.
Is a certified arborist. He knows more about trees than I know about grass.
And they've got some immune systems, I'll tell you that.
Right. So even though we're working on very different parts of the lawn and landscape, the fundamentals of it overlap incredibly.
Yeah, very significant amount of overlap for sure.
Yeah. Just like how you can have endo and exo fungi that really work with protecting the plant. Right?
Yeah.
So here's where we're going to get back to, is it really bugging you kind of thing? You're told to pre-treat. You want to treat for everything. A, is treating for everything really a good idea? Have you ever heard of big-eyed bugs?
Not that I know of.
So, for those who don't know, you have a thing in your lawn called big-eyed bugs. Here's why they are important. They are a natural predator to chinch bugs.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yes. So when you are pre-treating the lawn, you are killing the natural predator to chinch bugs.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is a lot of the way the environment and the ecosystem works is there's always a predator to a lot of these different insects that cause these issues. But if we're killing all of the beneficial insects, then what's left to kill the actual pest?
Right.
In my lawn, I don't mean to interrupt, but in my lawn, I go out there at night sometimes with a flashlight and I see millions of eyes looking at me. I have hundreds of wolf spiders. Hundreds.
I'm so glad you said that, because I was going to say next.
Yeah.
The other natural predator to chinch bugs is wolf spiders.
How about that?
Okay. And they are natural predators to many pests in the lawn. And I have seen this over the last 10 years. A lawn that is pre-treated for all the stuff essentially has that antibiotic over-treatment effect.
Well, it's a sterile environment at that point. And what happens when you get out of the hospital after you just received serious medical care? Your body's kind of sterile, and if you get exposed to a cold or a flu, boom, you get it right away. You have no resilience.
And you're going down.
Yeah.
You brought up something about cancer, right? People are going through treatment, all that stuff. And what do they say? Normally they don't die from the cancer.
Yeah.
They die from a sickness that they got
That's
while
very
they're
true.
going through treatment. You know, I know that's a freaking heavy one, and I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry.
Anybody who has a family member, very tough situation, our heart's with you.
Yes. But I say these things with an abundance of experience on both sides, you know.
Absolutely.
And we pre-treat, and we're told that all of these bugs need to die. I even see it on the package, right? It'll kill 110 bugs.
Yeah, no, the labels, especially the ones that they're very kill everything, 369 bugs. Yeah.
Right. And do you even know what most of them do?
No.
So are they really bugging you?
They're just a bug.
Right. And
there's this song. It's called. It's by this artist named Jesse Wells. I think it's just called Bugs. It's pretty funny. We'll listen to it later.
Okay.
But anyway, sorry.
So 10 years of experience fixing lawns. I highly recommend that you stay away from pre-treating. It does not work as intended. In fact, it can often backfire.
And this is specifically insecticidal pre-treating, right? Fungicidal, insecticidal.
And with fungicides.
Yeah.
Similar. Because with fungicides, you're killing off a lot of good stuff too.
Certainly.
So you're not really fighting the bad stuff. You're really fighting the stuff that's gonna fight the bad stuff for you.
Well, and what does Germex say, or I guess I should say any hand sanitizer on the bottle kills 99.9%. If you look on the back of the label, that 0.1%, it says E. coli, salmonella, and all of the worst things you can imagine.
The stuff that can really wreck your body.
And that's the same thing with fungicide. Is it kills all of the good stuff, and if anything's left behind, it's usually the bad stuff.
Yes, and so as we are in the summertime, there is a time and a place to treat things, right? I'm not opposed to treating insects. I do always, in my opinion, want to find the most natural route to do it, because the more of a natural route to do it I have found, the quicker the recovery, and it's generally safer for, you know, us, our pets, the environment, right? Like in the whole chinch bug thing, in treating for it, I have found that orange oil works freaking great.
Wow. And does it kill them? Does it just push them out of the area? Do you know?
It
Probably
does
both.
all three, or both, but I say it messes up what's called their cuticle.
Okay, yeah.
Because bugs breathe through
their
their exoskeleton,
yeah.
right? And so it messes up their outer layer, and it does this to plants. So too strong, it becomes an herbicide.
Sure.
But a safe one. Okay, if you want to kill those weeds, orange oil works. All right, but a little bit weaker, you can dilute it with water. I have been testing a rate of about 16 ounces to 4 gallons of water on roughly 1,000 square feet.
Sure.
So here's what I found to work with that is, after I do that initial application with my backpack sprayer, I then take a hose and water it in more so it pushes that orange oil deeper, because typically when you have chinch bugs, you have a thick layer of thatch, and they're hiding under that thatch, so you want to push your material through the thatch.
Makes sense.
Right? And that's, I know when it's working, because you can spray a little bit of orange oil in an infected area of chinch bugs, and they will come right up.
Really?
Right? Yes.
Wow. But what you're doing is you're only treating when the pest is there.
Correct. An active infestation needs an active treatment. If it's not an active infestation, do not actively treat something that's not there.
So as a homeowner, what should I be doing as a preventative? Because to me, I take vitamins. I take my men's daily vitamin. What's the men's daily vitamin for the lawn?
So we're down here in the South. I have the most experience with St. Augustine. Bermuda and Zoysia are not impacted by chinch bugs anyway.
Okay.
So it does primarily, almost exclusively impact St. Augustine. But as for even other turf, how you feed the lawn is really, really important. Is your fertilizer, does it have soil foods? Does it have bioinoculants? Or is it a weed and feed?
Okay, yeah.
Is it a 3-in-1? So like, building up healthy, resilient lawn is watering, proper maintenance. Those go a long way. Just like us, rest, exercise help a lot.
Yeah.
Right? How you feed it. Are they soil foods? Are you putting the right amount out? Because I see this a lot. People will buy a bag of fertilizer. It can be a rather small bag, and it will cover up to 8,000 square feet.
Yep.
And they have 3,000 square feet.
And so they just put the whole bag
tripled
out.
That application.
Yep.
And I do joke a little bit. I say, if it says 3-in-1, you better run. Okay, don't touch that crap.
No, I mean it's like the shampoo and the body wash, right? I mean, I got away from it.
Man. I use bar soap for everything.
I use bar soap. Mine is like an olive oil bar soap.
So we want a healthy, resilient lawn. That actually means doing less to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, less treatments, less fungicides, less herbicides. Feed it, maintain it regularly, and water it regularly if you want to have a nice lawn. Only treat active infestations. When you do have infestations, try your best to positively identify the problem. Like the gentleman who called, he thought it was a fungus issue. He was going to recommend a fungicide.
Sure.
Thankfully, that's not what happened,
Because that fungicide theoretically could have caused the infestation to even expand, because if you're getting rid of all the symbiotic fungi that's keeping the rest of the grass healthy, what would happen then?
He's working his carpentry skills again. Nail on the head.
There we go.
All right. Yes. You are exactly right. You put down a fungicide and it will exacerbate the problem.
Misdiagnosis.
Guaranteed. Right? Because now the rest of your lawn around the infected area is less healthy, so they're going to move quicker. identify it, treat it properly. And the other part of this that gets overlooked all the time with pests and diseases and all that stuff is while you're treating for something, and always try to treat as specifically as possible, right? But you need to also focus on recovery. You're going to go back to like this human body kind of thing. If I'm sick, I need rest.
Yeah.
Right? But I also need healthy food.
Of course, yeah.
To recover. Right? I need rest and I need nutrients.
Healthy food, water, rest, yeah.
So I see this often where people are treating a lawn, you know, they're trying to fight this, fight that, bugs, weeds, fungus, you name it. But they always overlook, how am I going to rebuild it and recover it?
Yeah.
So as you're fighting pests, are you also actively working on that recovery side?
Of course, yeah.
Well, you say of course.
Well, no,
and I will say of course. People are usually not, right? And to you, look, Shane is not telling y'all maybe that he has hundreds of hours of experience probably dealing with very similar problems with trees.
Yeah, we're going to get into the tree side of things here in just a minute.
As I do with lawns, right? And it's just so frustrating. So I kind of want to repeat the question one last time. Is it really bugging you?
It all depends.
It does depend, but there's a lot of things out there
that shouldn't be.
You mentioned big-eyed bugs and wolf spiders,
Yeah.
and there's a plethora of many other things that are not truly bugging us.
Absolutely.
So before you treat and defeat, focus on keeping it healthy first.
Yeah, no, because on the tree side of things, I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but there's these big spider web looking things that'll take over the trunk and the branches, and people call us out all the time. I need this pest gone. This is obviously an issue. It's got to be those web worms or those army worms or bag worms. It's got to be something. You need to come out here and kill these things. But it's bark lice.
Yep.
So there's something called bark lice, and all they do is they eat the fungi and the algae that makes up the lichen that's on the tree. They eat the lichen, they eat the fungi, they eat the bacteria, and they create these big webs. And they're usually gone within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And we recommend zero treatment for them because they aren't a pest. They're just getting rid of organic matter. That's it.
Well, and I've been told this way, they're essentially cleaning the tree.
They are, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
We get calls out because people don't like the lichen on their tree. And so maybe we start for those customers giving them bark lice.
Right. That would be an excellent way if you could do that. Would be what would be called a biological control.
Yeah.
Right? Which I find are generally more effective when they are effective.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a reason they release ladybugs in greenhouses.
Yeah.
But when dealing with trees, there's pests like wood-boring beetles that live inside of the tree. And it's unfortunate that you can't kill those without insecticides because things like orange oil, these more organic or holistic solutions, typically are more contact. They're not systemic.
Correct.
And for trees, a lot of times you need something that's systemic. And so we do apply insecticides, but something that's very important about every time we apply insecticides, we never do an insecticidal treatment without a full biostimulant and comprised of humic acid and molasses. That way we can be able to build back up that soil food web, build up some of that fungal network that supports the tree, and give food for all of the higher level insects that we know we have affected with insecticides, so that way they can recover quicker. Because if we just put out insecticides and we never do a biostimulant, it's going to take 3 times as long for those insects and the soil food web to really recover. And there's a treatment threshold as well. If we go out to a property and there's, say it's like a crepe myrtle. Crepe myrtle are always getting something called crepe myrtle bark scale. Now, usually it's a pretty serious infestation and it needs to be treated. but let's just say for example purposes, it's a very minor infestation. There's only a couple little pieces of scale on a singular branch and we're catching it very early. We could do an insecticidal treatment, but if we can educate the client on some cultural practices, they could possibly be able to use some horticultural oils, or even just manually removing and killing the insects can be enough to stop the infestation.
If it's small, they could just trim off that little branch.
Or trim it off, certainly.
Yeah. And
so
quick removal.
When a lot of companies will just immediately say insecticide, that'll be the fix. There's a lot of ways around that through cultural practices, through just general education of how these insects work, what their life cycles are, and what can be done to prevent their life cycle from continuing.
Yes.
Along with the idea of treatment threshold, and that's something that the Texas Department of Agriculture talks about a lot, is they don't really want you putting out insecticides, even though almost everybody does it, unless if there is a reason to treat.
Right.
And there needs to be a solidified reason to treat. And organic or holistic options should be reviewed first. There's no reason we should be immediately jumping to insecticides every time.
Or what I hear often too is, I didn't know what it was, so I put down everything.
Yeah. I put down the fungicide, I put down the insecticide, I put down...
And I wanted to kill the weeds, so I did the herbicide.
Herbicide as well, yeah.
Ooh, drives me nuts.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
But even with the trees, I'm so glad that you brought up, you put down a biostimulant. So while you're actively treating something, you are actively working on the build and recover stage as well.
Because trees and a lot of other plants too, and I'm sure grass, well, I know grass, there is a natural resilience of that plant, and that plant has the ability of being able to fight off insects. So something even as severe as pine bark beetles, which I'm sure you see all of the hundreds and thousands of pines throughout Greater Houston that die every year from pine bark beetles.
I got a ton behind our apartment that are dying from that, and every nasty windstorm we get, another one falls over.
Yeah,
it's funky.
It's terrible. And a lot of times those pine trees have been affected by herbicide applications. They've been affected by poor cultural practices, possibly fungicide used in the past, or too much insecticide used in the past, and no building back up of the support systems that increase the plant's resilience. Pine trees, if you know what to look for, you can actually look on the plates of bark and you can find damage from pine bark beetles 20 or 30 years ago, because that's how many layers of bark the pine trees hold on to a lot of times in our area. Is 20 to 30 years worth of bark. And you can actually dissect the layers of bark and see the old tunnels that the tree was able to overcome from the pine bark beetles. It was able to fight off naturally, defend itself, and successfully kill the pine bark beetle, even though it's a very ferocious pest. So increasing, while you might have a singular pine tree that actively has pine bark beetles, killing the pine bark beetles is a must, but then increasing the health of all of the trees in the future could prevent you from ever getting pine bark beetles again.
Man, I wish more people knew this.
And that's what we're here for, right, AJ? To share this, because unless if you're being told about it, how do you find out?
And you talk about a treatment threshold. Now, I'll be honest, I don't ever get as technical and stuff like that with that sort of thing. But I do know this. You just can't keep doing the same thing. Right?
Well, and what is the definition of insanity? It is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Right. If you didn't see, and you need to, when you're treating for something, you need to go back and look, right, for if that, let's say chinch bugs is still active, right? But at a certain point, either A, you take down the tree, unfortunately, or B, you let that stuff play out and die. And then in my case, because lawns are way easier to recover than a whole tree that's going south in a lot of cases, then you focus on the recovery stage, right? Because treating and treating and treating, you will reach that threshold of, is it even effective and worth it anymore?
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
Absolutely.
So if you've already done it a couple times in a short amount of time, give it a break. Okay.
100%. And I mean, you're doing it right, AJ, because if you really think about it, you're not treating until there's a visible pest to treat for. You're not doing these insecticidal pre-treatments where you're concerned about preventing the pest from ever showing up. You know that when it shows up, you can address it then and recover the plant or recover the grass after it shows up.
And I do want to add this little tidbit
Yeah.
into the treatment of things, okay? I have started using this product called Microlife Biomatrix. It has quite a few different strands of bacteria in it. And what I've noticed this year versus the last 9 years of doing this is that I started using it late last year.
Okay.
Continued really consistently this year. I have seen less issues in all my lawns.
Wow.
Than ever before.
And it's just that symbiotic relationship.
Right. And staying focused on what I do stay focused on is supporting biology, whether it's bacteria, fungi, right? Supporting soil. And I just find it like amazing that it's such a simple solution. Now, is it going to fix everything? No. There are other things required to keep things healthy and or treat stuff, but
to some large degree,
like, I want to help move you past the idea of treatment and in a sense, and move into an idea of like, if we focus more on a robust biology, how much can we prevent then?
Exactly.
Instead of the chemical preventions.
Yes.
Right? Just like you said, you know, you build back up a tree and you have witnessed cases where the tree comes back from things that if it was just treated conventionally,
would never have.
Toast.
Yeah.
Right? I find that so fascinating.
Absolutely no, because with the crepe myrtle bark scale, it does something to the crepe myrtles where it causes massive dieback of the canopy. And even if you just kill the pest, a lot of times the crepe myrtle still keeps declining. And if we weren't doing that treatment, we wouldn't have, if we weren't doing the biostimulant part of that treatment, we wouldn't have anywhere near the success that we have with treating crepe myrtle bark scale that we do.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a issue of treating pests when you see the pest and not trying to prevent them. There is the concept of increasing the plant's resilience to prevent the pests. Instead of using an insecticide to prevent, focus on the plant, its symbiotic relationships with fungi and bacteria that support the plant, and instead of pre-treating, think about it as treating to grow a better soil food web.
So, glad you said that, and I kind of want to leave it off on this. Feed it before you treat it.
That's a good one.
Okay?
Because
I don't treat it. I feed it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for joining us for another episode of the Lawnspiracy podcast. We hope to see y'all again. I think we'll be covering another great topic, and we'll catch y'all next time. Peace out.
Peace.